And
hello, our Facebook family. We apologize for the delay. However, if you're watching this, you probably know that life happens. So we did have some technical difficulties, but we are glad that we are here with you now. My name is Jeanette Davis, and I have the privilege to serve my community as a community health specialist for recovery supports in Logan and Mason County. I am here, yes, I'm a person with lived experience. However, I don't have the experience that these four have. And today, we are going to be talking about harm reduction. And most specifically about harm reduction, we're going to be speaking about Naloxone. And we'll get more into what that is. But I'm going to pause for a minute, and I definitely want our panel to share their names. Who are you, sir?
My name is Caleb Naloxone.
I'm Sadie Sanders.
I'm Samantha Markey. I'm Crystal.
Thank you guys for all being here. I know that you could choose to be anywhere, but you're here with us. And I value your time, your experience, and what you're going to share. So thank you for being here. It's not easy to get up here, especially this topic. So we're going to get into a little bit of what is harm reduction. That's a broad term. Well, the term can be broad, right? It's not, but we're going to, break it down. This is the definition from our national administration. It says harm reduction is a public health strategy aimed at minimizing the negative consequences associated with drug use and other high-risk behaviors. Okay, so it's a strategy. Not everyone is ready to stop using. And that's just the truth of it. And we've done not a very good job of supporting those folks. We can tend to judge them, why won't they stop? The substance use disorder is not an easy thing. I don't think any one of us ever woke up and said, I want to be addicted to something, or that's not how this thing works. And so we may be in a place, and I say all the time, right, that the use of drugs is simply the evidence of broken places, right? And so some folks, when they're broken, it's hard, and we want to turn that feeling off, and we want to run from it. And some of us have done it for many, many long years. And yet, harm reduction is a way to invite people to come closer to recovery, and also flat out save lives. So we are going to have that discussion here. If you all would just share, we don't want to go too far, back. Because you know what, we're living and we're recovering. We don't want to go back necessarily to the horror stories, because we have them. But a little bit directly about your experience with Naloxone.
Okay.
You want to go pick
I can. So, my name is Caleb. My experience with Narcan is the last time I was hit with Narcan, I was hit 6 times. It saved my life. I've had to administer Narcan before, and help save somebody's life. So, I think before Narcan, we would just lose people left and right. It was very sad. It's still sad, but I'm just grateful that there is something like Naloxone that saves people's lives. Because now it is unbelievable.
Hi, I'm Stacia, and my experience with Narcan is I have been Narcan 2 separate times, and one time it took me 4 doses of Narcan. And then I also had Narcan a few people, and I really don't care what anybody says. Save life is to save life, and I'm a big supporter of it, and that's pretty much it.
right, teachable moment. Naloxone is the medication, and Narcan is the brand. And so we are moving from saying, because it was the only supplier, now there is other suppliers with other names. So now we're trying, right, to begin to refer to it as the overall naloxone. So just wanted to clarify that if people were hearing that. Just a teachable moment. Sandy?
I'm Samantha, Naloxone, aka Narcan. I have been saved twice, and then I have also administered. Actually, one of the people that saved me is sitting next to me. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be here. She actually saved my life. And my daughter actually reached out to her a while back and, thanked her because if it wasn't her, she wouldn't have a mommy. And it is because she chose that route, because she chose to help and not run. Naloxone is very impactful. For the people who think that naloxone is enabling people, their opinions are their opinions. However, it is because of naloxone that my daughter has her mother. And unfortunately, there was no naloxone there whenever her dad passed away. So, naloxone absolutely saves lives. So, it's not right.
Hi, I'm Chris Ray. I actually overdosed myself, but the problem was I did not overdose on an opiate. So, naloxone wouldn't have been able to help me. I actually had to be shocked back to life after being dead for about 5 to 7 minutes. So it's a miracle that I'm even here. But I was at the county jail, so that was the luck that's where I actually had my incident at. But yes, I'm the one that administered 2 doses to her. That was a very traumatic night, and I'm ever grateful that I at least had enough sense in my own addiction, because I was very much on drugs during this time, so that I had enough sense to do something in the moment, like right in the moment. So yeah, I'm glad we're all here. Big deal, big deal.
Crystal used a word that I believe in my whole heart, without any amount of exaggeration, is that we are miracles. It is an absolute miracle that we are sitting here. And it's the hearts of others, right? Like who said didn't run, stayed. That's very powerful. No matter, I love that, no matter what your opinion is on naloxone, I know that these dear people who I love so much would not be sitting next to me if it weren't for it. And so therefore I will do all that I can to have it accessible to those around the community as much as possible. This thing is not going away. It is a problem that is a we problem. And it is not looking at us as like, what's wrong with you? Right? We tend to look at people who are doing destructive things and say, what's wrong with you? Why don't you just stop? We've had trauma in our life. And we are asking for you to consider the question, what happened? What happened? Right? What happened? No one goes out to seek this, to seek to be a place where you are dead. It's a very serious topic. And I want to elaborate even more so. We have heard first responders say, I don't want to carry naloxone, they're going to let them die. Okay? This is very real. We say that cause, not necessarily to poke, but to really say there's a gap in education. And we hope things like this, or putting things like this, will help educate those who think that way. And in this next moment, I want you all to share where you are today. Okay? Right? So, oh yeah, we save your lives for what? What now? Right? What they're about to tell you. And we're going to kick it off with Crystal.
All right, we're gonna start with me. So, I actually just graduated with a 3.9 GPA from DeVry University. I'm working on a bachelor's, but I'm dealing with some financial stuff. So, I graduated on the dean's list, top of my class in computer technology. So it's a lot of different things like programming, networking, security, database analysis, all kinds of stuff. So anyhow, I eventually am trying to work on getting a cybersecurity degree because I would like to help the kids that are on the internet with some of the people that are on the internet harming children. So my goal in life is to use what I am now educating myself with to try to do good things. So that's what I'm doing. Other than that, I just work a job and live a normal life and stay out of trouble. And it's kind of a beautiful, boring life. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you, Crystal. I love that. I mean, 3.9, girl. I love it. Thank you. Sammy.
July 1st, I celebrated 6 years clean. So I started out by, I started helping put together the memorial walk that we have in September. And at one of the tables, they had a recovery corps flyer. And I ended up signing up for that. I originally wanted to do it here in Lincoln, because I want to help people in Lincoln. However, the only place that they had available was actually at the treatment center where I got to. So I ended up being able to go back to the treatment center that helped me and got to help other people. To get my recovery peer support specialist. I was there for 3 years, and now I'm currently a community outreach worker with Family Guidance Center in Springfield. So I get to go out and help other people get into treatment or introduce them to harm reduction, whether that be the MAC program or, clean utensils program or, just harm reduction in general and trying to help people save their lives. I truly feel that my life wasn't saved just because, right? Like, I have a purpose. And I feel like my purpose is to be able to help other people. And so that's what I choose to do.
Don't miss it. Don't miss her going back to the facility where she was served. What about Naloxone? Really, this is important, so important. But I do have to pause here because I have not mentioned, if we do have folks watching us on Facebook, we invite you to enter any questions you may have, or share a name of a loved one that you have lost. We have a banner where we put those names and honor them. So I just want to throw that out to those watching, and I also want to throw that out to those that are with us in the room. Should you feel like you want to share someone's name, step up and we'll make that happen. So we have someone watching the comments for that. So
If they have the ability, ask them to share it live too, because the more
Yes.
eyes that see it.
absolutely, Crystal hit on the head. Look, we want to get this message out, not just to Logan and Mason County. We want to get this message out to our country. And so I know you know somebody, and somebody knows somebody. We're asking you to share this to your circle of influence. If you wonder how you can help, sometimes people are looking, well, what can I do? Share. It makes a big difference. And having some naloxone on hand is also a way that you can help. We have many stories of people who have no issues with substances, but have saved the lives of people because they had naloxone with them. I hear sometimes people say, well, I when we're out in the community offering it, well, I don't mean anything. The fact of the matter is we're really at a place where there is someone in your circle. And if you don't know, you're probably not a safe space. So you might want to think about that too. It's just real. Because this thing is not, it doesn't care what your last name is. It doesn't care what your bank account looks like. It does not care where your geographical location is. This happens to any and all. And I'm just, again, just so privileged to be sitting next to some amazing human beings. And the more that I sit here and just really think, they would be dead. Like there's no other way to say it. And I'm just right with me. I'll say me. Sometimes I forget to stop and just really think about what's happening around me. What am I a part of? And to look at you all, like I couldn't imagine you not being here, right? I'm just so grateful, and I don't want to hide that because this is real. We're real here. We put on the flyer. This is gonna be a real conversation. I'm not gonna apologize for my emotions today. We need each other. And it's just incredible to see you guys here. I love you so much.
It's also not just about drug abuse though, too. It's also about, older people that may have medication in a house where a child or a teenager, anything could happen. So having something on hand, just in case, it doesn't have to involve drug addicts. It could just be someone in your own family. Something super simple could be so deadly.
Thank you for that, because that is very accurate. We have had our elderly folks forget and overtake medications. And children getting into it. We will make sure to post the locations where you can just walk in and get naloxone, get testing strips. Those are benzo, fentanyl, and xylazine testing strips, which is also harm reduction. It allows folks to see what substance they're using. And so we do have those things available. One of the places I'll just shout out right now, we have a vending machine and custom cleaners, family custom cleaners in Lincoln on Woodlawn. There is a vending machine there that you can just walk in, it's open 24 hours, and get what you need. There are also several other places, the health department, we'll post the list, okay? But again, it is free. It is free. I want to answer this question because a lot of people say, well, if you get that for free, why isn't there diabetes medicine for free and all this and that? And I get to be around the most incredible people. And I know a warrior out there, and I love her response because her answer was because we went out and bought for her. That's why. That's why. Because we fought for it, because we know that it saves lives, who are doing incredible things. And look, it doesn't have to be all the big title and the big name. The fact that we can just function and with our families and thrive that way is a beautiful, beautiful thing that we couldn't do before. So we don't want it to, it's just all beautiful for our thing. So I'll shut up and let Stacia go.
Yeah, I just had a baby, so that's my 6th one now. So I'm not really anything special. Yeah. But I am, okay, so I am an assistant manager. I stepped down for a little bit until I get, get a routine with the baby, but I'm assistant manager at a gas station. So before, you could probably not trust me around your purse. But now I handle like hundreds of dollars and, well, thousands of dollars actually. And I'm trusted. I don't leave the store, open it up, I go in, that would have never happened. It would have been calling the cops on me. And in my addiction, like I said, six kids now, but I lost my kids. And I have I was 6 now, sorry. I have custody of them.
Woo! Wait, stop right there. Stop right there.
I have custody of them, and the ones that went through it with me are extremely proud of me, and I'm able to show up and be there for them. And that's what's most important to me, because that was part of what kept me in my addiction. I had an overdose. I was hurt so bad that I let that happen. And so that is probably my main thing is I have custody of my kids, and I'm living a good life. I'm doing what I can for them, and I'm alive. If I wouldn't have been, they would have been. I have seen children of their parents' funerals. Okay, I've seen them crying over the caskets of their parents that they weren't going to get back. And I'm not doing that. My kids don't have to go through it. I'm sorry for the ones that did, but mine don't today. So that's it.
Thank you. I mean, if you don't know what it is, well, let me back up. When people hear that people's kids are taken, there's immediate stigma, there's immediate, and wow, I don't share this, but I know that feeling very well. But what I also do know is the pathway in order to come back to get your kiddos is not easy. And that accomplishment is incredible. So I want to acknowledge that. I love Stacia in a very, very special way. In a very special way. And when I see her and watch her be a wife and mother and running a store, you are something incredibly special. Incredibly special. You have blessed so many people, and if they haven't told you, you blessed my life, right? So thank you. I'm just not apologizing for my emotions, right? Every time, every time I see Stacia, it is a moment that I get to see what recovery is possible. So what's up with you?
Not much. I do want to point something out real quick. We have all used together.
Yes.
We have all used together.
Yes.
The odds and statistics of from being in active addiction to being here right now, I don't understand it.
Yeah, we definitely beat the odds.
Yeah. We definitely beat the odds. Me, by the grace of God. So, about me, where I'm at. Where I came from. Okay, let's start there. I came from. Let me go ahead and start with I didn't choose to get addicted, to drugs. For me, and I believe it's like many, but just for me, I had to understand why I used drugs, So I couldn't control my own emotions. I couldn't even identify my emotions, let alone control or manage them. And then there's unhealed trauma, things that happened that I didn't even realize that I was traumatized by these things. You know what I'm saying? And then when I did start to realize certain things, I didn't want to talk to somebody about it. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to deal with it. I just happened to link up with some people who were like-minded in type of thinking. And, so I would choose, drink or do pain pills, which progressed into the heroin later on, which progressed into fentanyl later on. It's not like I was just like, I can't wait to get addicted to drugs. It was just, I need to escape. Like, I need to get out of this, man. I can't, you know what I'm saying? So when I decided to actually get clean and not for probation or parole or something for myself, and I had to realize, like in the beginning it was crazy because you got taught post-acute withdrawal syndrome. You gotta understand, why don't I want to get out of bed? Why do I feel like this and that? And don't want to do nothing with my life. And then I had to face my traumas, man. And the great thing is that there was resources available I didn't know about, and I learned about, and I utilized. People that I utilized to help me get through. That's the whole thing, the whole purpose is, it's okay to struggle, okay? It's not okay to get stuck in the struggle, right? There's resources, there's people that have been through it, there's people that will help you do that, and that's where I'm at. If I can share how I got through something and it helps the next person, awesome. Because certain meetings I went to, certain classes I went to, that's what I heard. I heard people that went through the same thing. And I didn't know, what did you do? What did you do? Okay. And then another thing, this is just for me, so I surrendered my will to the love of God as I understand God. Okay. With that surrender, there was like you can call it rebirth or like an awareness, So I had that awareness. Now, I was still fighting that awareness though a little bit because I was still behaving differently. It wasn't like in sync yet. And I realized that I needed to get this, my behaviors and my actions, my way of thinking, everything had to line up because there's a message that I didn't know at the time that people are watching. There's a message that's being, that can't be blurred, you know what I'm saying? It has to be a clear message. So I can't be out here ripping and running with these same people. And I'm like, well, I'm clean and I love God, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't look right. I had to make sure this message looked right. So, because other people's lives are at stake. And I got 28 months clean time. I don't know, I'm just always humble myself to learn and keep myself available for people. I had to realize this too. A lot of people like the idea, but they don't want the commitment.
Right.
So, they're just so hurt, they really want to get out, but they're just not entirely ready yet. So, that was something that I had to accept early on. Because, early on, I'm like, I'm going to help everybody that comes my way, and they're going to do it because I did it, and this, and it just delusional. It doesn't happen like that, unfortunately. Because I was the type, I'm going to leave the horse to water, and I'm going to find a way to get that horse to drink. I just led you to water, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then,
How many times somebody let us?
yeah, it reminds me of my own journey. Rehab I'm in treatment 8 times. And I was embarrassed of being in treatment 8 times. And then I was like, oh, don't be embarrassed that you went to treatment 8 times. Some people don't make it once. You know what I'm saying? So.
Some people aren't
At all, yeah. Yeah. So.
What you doing today? Besides being on paper and.
Yeah, no, there's been a few articles. And it's not on the record, so. stagger and
He's running that thing.
they say the food's good.
You was just noted and recognized in a couple different publications. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to taste it, but the pictures,
Yeah.
we gotta make a trip.
And yeah, so I'm not doing anything nobody else can't do, you know. I got a house and, a vehicle and it might be broke down, but it's mine. Not somebody else's, and,
Not sleeping in the tent
Not-
out back.
no,
Yeah.
no, yeah. I even pay my handling bill on time.
Hey, that's a big deal. Paying your Amber bill on time, especially, I don't know about y'all, mine doubled. So I'm not happy with that, but anyway, that's for a different time.
No.
I just want to say something. So, Kayla and our kids are related. He's my son's uncle, and I spent a huge part of my addiction with him and his family. And so I can say that Kaylin, I don't think that I would have fought on all of them, if any of them, that I would save her with him. And I don't know if he remembers, he's actually saved me. It wasn't with Naloxone, but he did save my life, and I've seen him in many situations where I didn't think he was going to make it through. And so it's a miracle. But also, I want to say, for a man to come and humble themselves and say that they're wrong and share with another person, whether it's male or female, and break themselves down, it's really hard. That stigma for men is that, oh, they're weak if they talk, or oh, they're this or they're that. No. And like, I really thought, you know, I don't know, I just really, really proud of him. And like I said, I've known him, her, and they were all part of my addiction. And for us to be sitting here is amazing. But especially for him as a man and with the ego that he has.
I second the I can't believe of all the kids, like
Yeah.
honestly, like,
And I know,
big deal.
yeah, it's big.
Honestly,
Yeah, the video.
I have to check my ego daily.
Yeah.
But honestly, I do, I work really hard on staying calm. I'm not better than nobody, nobody's better than me. I might be better at some things or something, but I'm the type, I want to learn that. When we get, you know, what I'm saying, figure this out too, I want to be good at this or something. So I don't know, I just want to better myself, that's it. And, we weren't supposed to be here. You know, statistically, I always have to be careful with talking about statistics, because some people hear, oh, all hope is lost. No. The thing is, we can change that number. They go up and down, you know what I'm saying?
Or the
We change that number.
2%.
Yeah.
2%. You're part of the 2%. Oh well, it could be 4 tomorrow. It could
Yeah,
be
you
8.
can.
It could be 100. If we just keep trying.
Yeah. And I also feel like you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, it's what you know. If you get into that business and you got something to speak on about it, you know what I'm saying? Now you're involved. So you're part of the solution, part of the problem.
And also, like, what if it was you? What if it was your kid? Would you want me just to stand there and say, you know what? I don't really like what they do. They're just fine. Like, no, you would want me to save your life, and I would in a heartbeat. You might not save mine, but that doesn't mean I won't save yours. So.
Wow, yeah.
I had a situation just last week where this person said that people will basically manipulate Naloxone in order to get high again later. So they need tough love. Okay? If tough love is gonna get somebody else killed, is that love?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I as an addict, I actually honestly didn't ever think like, yeah, I could just get high and get with Martin. Man, I didn't want to get hit with that, bro.
Yeah, that was the worst.
I was so mad. And that's the crazy thing. I was so mad when I got there.
You know what I'm saying? Do it again. No want to get
Right.
hit.
She literally called me from the hospital the next day and was so mad at me. She was like,
Why did you save my life?
My response was, so they deserve to die.
Right.
Well, if they die, they die. I felt so bad because the person had been through so much with a family member, right? They'd been through so much and they became so numb and so unempathetic, and it was just like, dude, I have been that person, for 20-some years, 27 years, put my family through all that, you know what I'm saying? And if somebody would have thought that way about me, it's like, I'm just like, man, no, they don't deserve to die. Because some people have said, like, Samantha has a story where she was a junkie, she deserves to die. You heard that before?
Yeah, it was actually the night that, or the day that I got Narcan, because apparently the ambulance was, helping save my life, and, an elderly gentleman had fell uptown. And they, said, well, she's just a junkie, you should have just let her die. And it was on one of the Facebook, pages, like Logan County Scanner or whatnot, and there were like hundreds and hundreds of comments, just talking about how she's just a junkie, you should have just let her die. She didn't deserve that help, he needed the help, she didn't. And yeah, it was pretty impactful,
I still called 911.
She did.
I actually had a cop tell me that, when he was yelling at me when he was arresting me. He's like, if I could, I would just take all the junkies, put them in the middle of town square, and let them kill each other.
This isn't made up. These are experiences that we've had. The stigma is so thick and so heavy. And that's why we're doing this. That is why we're doing this. No one wants to come expose themselves. No one wants to come and tell, all these things. But I want to add to your list everything that you're doing in your life, in your regular life, and they commit and to things like this and come help with community events and come show up when they're asked. That's a big deal. Knowing that they're coming to expose themselves. Again, that is not an easy thing, especially when we've heard comments like that. I mean, take us to the town square and let us kill ourselves? Can you imagine? And so what does that do to the individual that's getting them to going into custody? Right? What does it do to that person?
Yeah, I'm just ready
Exactly.
The way that they treat addicts in custody is a whole other disgusting discussion.
And what we hope is, we don't want to go too far down that road because I know we can stay there.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's real and it's for another time, right?
Yeah,
Because we can have another topic.
I sat with you, and there is law enforcement. I sat with Jeanette and with someone from the police department who was willing, and this was about having them carry Naloxone. That was the specific discussion, and I sat next to a cop that was on my indictment, and he was right there agreeing, like, yes, I want to do this. I want to put it in the pocket of every officer. I want to put it in the pocket of every, first responders. So it's not, I didn't mean that to say, all cops are bad or whatever. I'm just saying, I've had people in authority tell me they want me to die because I was addicted to what I was addicted to heroin. So, and I've had tons of other things. I wasn't being like that. There are people that want to help.
No, but this is important. I mean, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because, I have to give the benefit of the doubt and in my mind say that it's just their ignorance, right? Because I don't know their heart. But that comment is within their ignorance because they don't understand. And so this is why we're coming out, right? This is the very thing why we're speaking up. And, you know, I am excited and proud to say that we are working with our law enforcement. Our chief of police here in Lincoln, Illinois, Chief Meister, is absolutely on fire to do something different. And with his support and with us continuing to show up and recover out loud, I truly believe that things will begin to change from the top down. You know, we are asking and really accepting nothing less, right? We are fighters out here, trying to make a difference. And so, you know, not everyone is in, recovery work, but every day they go to their job. Every day they share their story to someone that they meet. They are doing the work.
My third child, one of my children and I are actually getting ready to start doing a podcast for YouTube, because she wants to show what having a relationship with your parent after addiction in prison looks like. So we're not just gonna have the good conversations, we're gonna have the tough conversations. So we actually were just talking about this a couple days ago. So it's also really important for people to see that even if you lose your children during addiction, you don't lose your children, you lose custody of your children.
Right.
So, you know, you can build those relationships back. You just have to be willing to do the work, the commitment. You know, that's the hardest part. It's easy to want something, it's hard to do it. But it feels really good to wake up every day and not be tied to that. You know, I can go out and do whatever I want. I don't have to be tied to that. It's a beautiful boring life, and I wouldn't have it together with.
It's funny you said that, you know, the boring life. You know, some of us get stuck in the lifestyle.
Yes.
Right? Some of us in early recovery create trauma. Because they don't feel quite right? But, you know, to be able to laugh about this today, I mean, come on. You know, we know this is a very serious topic, but what a gift.
Yes.
What a gift to be able to laugh at the things that are the most difficult. But we do that because we can recover. We do it because we want you to know this is real. What do you say to the person who says they have a loved one, right? And they just don't know how to help them. What would you say to that person? Anyone?
Honestly, the only thing that we really can do is pray and be an example. And I, you know, would just reiterate to them like that it's not their fault. You know, I know being a parent myself, you know, like I always take on the blame for a lot of things, you know, or somebody that I love, but you know, just reiterate to them that, you know, it's not their fault and that there are resources out there, you know, and give them resources if we got them, you know, and just let them know that they're not alone in the fight because they can feel like they're alone as well, you know. Just like the addict can feel alone, so can the people that love them feel alone. You know, and just trying to be there for both sides is something that I personally try to do.
I would say the same thing that they say in the program, I'm gonna love you till you love yourself. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna give you money, that doesn't mean, you know, I'm gonna support your habit or anything like that. I will take you to meetings, I'll sit with you there. I will tell you what I've been through and how I did it. If you don't do it now, you know what I mean? If you don't take my advice, you don't take my advice. But like I said, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to love you. It's not going to be tough love or lock you in a room for 10 days or whatever. It's going to be okay, and that's your choice. And I really wish you would make a different one, and I can help you make a different one. But if you're not going to take it, right here waiting for you. So.
Well, that was my my actually next question, because we're talking about the loved one, but that is exactly what I was going to say.
That's what I'm talking about.
I hear you were talking about the person using. Yes, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. What do you say to the individual who says, I can't do this? You know, and I think that's a beautiful example of what we can say. Anyone else wanna add to?
I would just personally tell the family member, counseling, therapy, getting into those type of, something to learn a little bit more about what your family member's going through, because sometimes people just don't understand, they just don't get it. And, there are a lot of support groups for family members of, I guess, alcoholics and that sort of stuff. So I would say counseling is a good, and also a good place to start.
Al-Anon, that's the program. We do not have an Al-Anon program in our area. You can find them online, and you can, where they are physically, or they have meetings you can attend online. But if anyone is watching this who is a family member that would love to lead an Al-Anon group, we would love for you to contact us, because that is why we don't have it. We need someone to lead it. And so we would help support being with the Logan Mason Rocks or the recovery-oriented systems of care. Those are things that we do. We would help to get that going. So, but that is a resource for loved ones who are walking alongside or living or watching a loved one struggle. Yeah. I just, any last words, last shout outs?
You did ask, what would we say to the addict?
Yes.
That says that they can't do it. I say, well, Brett, I say you're not really wanting to if that's the case. Because there was a long time that I didn't want to either. And I damn near lost everything because of it. So you don't have to suffer alone. And you absolutely can do it. There are 4 people sitting here that did it that nobody thought would do it. Nobody thought any of us would get clean or stay clean. So, for the amount of years of sobriety sitting between the 4 of us, I say, yeah, you can, but you gotta want
I had to mention a couple weekends ago, we had our very first event where we hosted a recovery community and law enforcement joined together for our Breaking Barriers event. And, one of the most beautiful pictures that I, in my mind, so Kaylin, definitely was a tyrant around here. No, he was broken and lost, and the community felt that through things. And so, there's been run-ins, with the police. I believe, indictments and the whole big thing. And we had another gentleman there too, who's currently on drug court with the chief of police, with Chief Meister. And that picture of them standing together, when I say him, I say the chief has, I believe, called on you to help. I mean, talk about a miracle, right? One of the officers that I remember arrested you, and now you're working together.
Hey, you did more than the resident. That man was a lead detective.
It
One of
was.
my cases that I got 6.5 years for. And let me tell you something else. This other officer showed up in uniform for sharing.
Oh my gosh.
2009, he was the lead detective, where I got 12 years in prisons, so. Then they both showed up in my drug court graduation to speak on my behalf. And then we're at that Breaking Barriers, and I'm just like, it was just so surreal. It was like, dude, these people have tackled me. I took them on slow feet foot chases.
Slow street.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah.
And we ran rounds. on the same side. And the freedom that is gained from that is almost undescribable, because I don't have to worry about nothing, man. There was something going on kind of toward the downtown. I don't want to get into it too much, but I knew the person. They knew I knew the person. And they seen me and were like, hey man, can you come help us with this person, man? I'm like, me? And look, it's 45 minutes of downpour rain, and but it was like, man, I'm in here with these all these people who, you know, that have arrested me, or they've never been. Some of them didn't like me, and it is what it is. It was cool. And we were successful, you know, took care of it, used the situation, and there's some more stories in there that's pretty funny. I'm not going to share them with the team, but it was just like, yeah, they thanked me and shook my hand, and it was just different, like, you know, from the cuffs involved, it was just
I agree. You know, when I talk about breaking barriers event, you know, I've never hung out with the police like that. That was a new experience for me. But however, how beautiful, yeah?
Yeah.
And let me shout out, they were cooking the burgers and hot dogs too. So, yeah.
Okay, so let me just real quick, with the restaurant over again. The people that were cooking the burgers, they came to the restaurant. They, the retired officers, bailiffs, city cops, active duty cops, they come in and not cook for the ex-sheriff. Let me tell you, he told me personally he did not like me. He didn't look back. He let me know to my face. So, and being able to just grow and advocate like this, and they see it. You know, they're watching. People are watching. And you might not think that people are watching, but somebody is watching our journeys. And the fact that he even trusts me to cook for him, it made me feel good. I'm like, I feel it. You get hooked up.
I wasn't at the Breaking Barriers event, but I did have something similar happen to me. I was going to court for my son at the time, and I went to the courthouse, and Officer Sharon, which you know about Officer Sharon, he also was on an indictment. I mean, these people surveilled me for 6 months. And I was like, he was gonna walk right past me. I was like, hello? And he just looked at me like, I was like, you don't know who I am? And he's like, no. I'm like, Stacia. He's like, oh my God, you changed so much. And I'm, telling him what was going on. He did the same thing. He's like, you need to come down here and help,
Yeah, I love it. I know that we have many more stories we can share with you. But I think the bottom line here today is flat out, Naloxone saves lives. Period. End of sentence. There's no but or but, nothing. Again, I am so excited to begin to connect with law enforcement as we begin to, break this stigma, right? And we can't do it alone. We cannot do it alone. This is a we problem. It's a we problem. And, each of us stepping up. Look, if you don't know what to do, educate yourself. Pull up some information. Go to YouTube and listen to people share who have, come through addiction. If you're sitting there just saying, let him die, your ignorance is hanging out. And we encourage you.
Your lack of empathy is alarming.
Yes, it's absolutely. We all let's take responsibility for our part in our communities. And the way to do that is to educate yourselves. So we hope that if you come across this and you've stayed with us this long, that you do share this. I'm going to ask, are there any names that anyone would like to recognize? Anyone lost from the disease of addiction?
I just wanted to bring up my children's father, Kenny. He passed away a couple of years ago, so that Kenny McCree, we try to keep his name regular with the children around, so that's my one name.
I have my kid's dad as well. His name was John Beck. Him and my best friend. Her name was Megan Horton. There's Brian Beck as well. Let's say it again. And then recently, a couple months ago, maybe like 6 months ago, we lost someone in the program, and his name was Chris. So there's many, many more. Those are the ones that have impacted me a lot.
I want to say Brian Beck again because he was an amazing person. And then Ashley Newman, I was pretty close with her when that one took us so long. And like, there's a million more just on the spot right now. So those are my two right now. But also Jenny, you know that.
Jenny, yes, good friend of mine, John Bride. Very good friends of mine. I was thinking Ashley Newton too, and then it's Brandon Stolzenberg, Josh Gray, there's Nikita Kennedy, there's Michael Panos, there's
That was great. And his name is.
We've lost a lot.
This community has literally suffered Bobby Ward. The more I think about it, the more names just
Yeah, I'm sure we could go on and on with names. But I do want to take this moment. If you have a name in your heart, we're going to take a minute. No, go ahead. Go ahead. But we'll take a minute to pause and remember our friends. We're going to do that now. Thank you. We don't get to do that, do we? The disease of addiction is real. And if you're suffering now, we want you to know that we love you. We want you to know that recovery is real. We want you to know that you're not alone. And we want you to know that we never want to speak your name out loud. Right? The shame is not asking for help. The shame is in suffering something. Thank you so much, each of you, for sharing your hearts with us.
I just want to say, we do recover.
Yes. And not only do we recover, these folks are recovering out loud. right? We are recovering out loud. And so, again, we do that why? Because recovery is real, right? Because we've been there, we know how hard it can get. We know that feeling of, I can never get out of here, I will never get better. And we are here proof to tell you that that is a lie.
Yes.
That we can. And the first thing we have to do is reach out for help. So if you are hurting, please reach out. Reach out in Messenger, here on Facebook. Reach out to the Logan Mason Ross, ROSC. We are here for you. You are not alone, right? You're not. So, again, we are doing this because we want to educate the community. We want folks to know, again, that I keep repeating the same thing, but I just, sometimes you just, for me lately, my emotions, I just wish I could put it in a box, right? And just hand it to you. I wish I could. But the fact of the matter is that we have to make choices and decisions in order to start the process, right? If you're a loved one and you have someone you're walking or watching suffer, and you think they will never, ever, ever get well, how many times have you visited? 8 times? 8 times? 7 times? 5 times?
I was stubborn, I refused to do rehab, but I spent over 20 years in active addiction.
And I share that because we feel like they'll never get it, right? We have people think they will never get it. Absolutely. And even because while you're in active addiction and the way that we think, when we think about someone getting or receiving Naloxone to save their life, and the first thing they want to do is go get another bag. That blows people's mind. You can't wrap your mind around that. However, no matter how many times they do, the moment that they are ready, this is proof that Naloxone saves lives. I just again want to thank each and every one of you. I'm in awe of you and what you give to our community. I'm so thankful to be a part of something so incredible. And again, just thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Yeah, absolutely. Again, if you want any information and you're watching this, we will make sure to include that. I will include the contact number as well. But if you're wondering again, how can I help? Share the video. Go read something, educate yourself about addiction, recovery, harm reduction. Talk with someone who has had struggles. We are here. Yes. So yeah, before we completely close, is there anyone in the room that would like to speak a name out loud? This is your moment. Kayla.
I'm here with her heart for the second time. She had hospital mechanical heart put in. And she relapsed and did another injected, I don't know if exactly if it was meth or heroin mixed with alcohol, injecting it to her neck.
Blake Haven?
Say it.
Blake Haven?
Blake.
You don't have to use the mic.
Thank you. Jeez Louise. Jeremy and Buck. And then also, I work with our unhoused population in Springfield. Daily, we have people that are saved by Naloxone. And I just wait until I have to say their name out loud. So we need this. And we appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. I was thinking about this earlier, and I was like, I'm not gonna say that, but here it comes back around in my mind. And you know, I was fussing over Stacia a little bit earlier, and it's because I told Stacia, either I would see you cry, or I would be at your funeral. And to see her here today, it's a miracle. It's an absolute miracle. I love you. I just, you know, this thing is just crazy, and sometimes you connect, and I'm so grateful that you arrived. You know. So we're gonna close this out. Like I said, we continue to go on and on. If you've watched this long, thank you. Thank you. Because there's something in you that wants to help, wants to learn. Or maybe you're just nosy. That's fine too. You can't unhear it, that's right. However, we gotta plant the seed, right? And if it doesn't bloom here, we pray that your seed gets watered, and that you do come to an understanding, a place of compassion. Again, stop, or let's move from what's wrong with you to what happened. Thank you again for being with us. Thank you for the folks in the room hanging with us during our technical difficulties. We thank you. We thank you for being here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.